Buckle up for a road trip on the world's highest paved road, the Karakoram Highway, where within one day your surroundings could go from this to this. Join us as we explore major towns, see epic scenery, animals.
Stop it!
Oh, fantastic. Meet interesting people.
这顶帽子的话是塔吉克族妇女的一个象征。
And hear incredible stories along the way.
So what happened here?
兄弟，你好。
Pakistan, here we go. But where is the Karakoram Highway? Stretching over 2,000 kilometers, the highway begins in Kashgar in China's western Xinjiang Uygur Autonomous Region and runs to Pakistan's capital, Islamabad. It gets its name from the majestic Karakoram mountain range. But first, we begin our journey in Kashgar, which has been a major trading center on the old Silk Road. Here, I discovered something truly ancient and unique in a livestock market.
You've got dust, animals, smells, noises, the complete sensory experience.
For tourists like me, it's all a bit overwhelming seeing many things for the first time in my life.
These guys are checking whether she's pregnant. If she is, she'll sell for a different price.
This is what I was talking about. Look at these macho handshakes. They are so strong that they're almost like slaps. This is an old business ritual.
So when you shake on it, there's a finality to it. It's a done deal. That's it. You don't walk back on it.
Adult sheep go on the scales for measure, but this trader told me that smaller ones don't. Experienced buyers feel out their weight by just hoisting them up.
那我能抱一只小羊吗？
可以啊。
可以啊。
好了，的。
OK， 谢谢。
好。
Come on, little fella. Whoa! That's a heavy one. 它多少钱啊
？700块钱。
All right, little guy, what do you think?
I couldn't help but wonder that though much has changed over the centuries, this kind of Silk Road dynamism was something that Marco Polo himself had seen in the 1200s when he visited Kashgar. If he did, he might just have the same afterthought as I.
I'm gonna smell lovely after this. It's 8:30 in the morning. The sun's coming up over Kashgar.
It's road trip day. Although I still smelled like animals, but I was excited to finally go on the legendary Karakoram Highway.
We are driving on a winding path up the mountains.
One thing you definitely won't miss on this trip is the breathtaking scenery.
As a result, tourist spots have sprung up along the highway.
Today, few would consider a trip on the Karakoram Highway to be anything dangerous. But the same couldn't be said about its initial construction back in the 1960s. The mountainous land crossing of China's western borders was considered one of the most forbidding sections of the ancient Silk Road. The Karakoram Range boasts 15 mountains that tower over 7,500 meters. It was in such a treacherous environment that over 20,000 workers from China and Pakistan began building the highway. Lacking significant machinery and equipment, the work took about 10 years to complete. We reached the midpoint of Kashgar. After spending a night in the hotel, we explored this last Chinese county along the highway before crossing over to Pakistan.
Look, there over the mountains is the country of Tajikistan, and there is Afghanistan, and over in that direction is Pakistan.
This is a Silk Road outpost in China near the western border. Its role in connecting the east and west has left behind a rich history.
This site dates back to an estimated 2,200 years ago. Much of the area has been completely destroyed over time.
But in the middle lies the ruins of the inner city.
In the old city, there are remains of temples and houses. This was a proper metropolis back in the day, the center of a glorious kingdom on the ancient Silk Road.
You know what also makes this place legendary? The fact that it was able to thrive even under a particularly harsh climate of this region. There must have been a reason.
那这个地方跟丝绸之路有什么渊源呢？
这个是塔什克干石头城市，就是那个地理自然环境创造了，就是很多那个商人的那个丝绸之路的那个需求。比如说，它水丰富，草丰富，路虽然就是特别危险，特别艰苦。
But enough about history. Let's look at the present. These people are the local Tajiks, one of the 56 ethnic groups in China. Over 40,000 of them live in Kashgar, and they have their own very distinct cultural customs.
So what is the ethnic Tajik style? I'm talking to a local to find out. 首先，你先介绍一下自己吧。
我叫阿里马热加美美琪，我是土生土长的塔吉克族。
那我们现在在一家塔吉克民宿里面啊，请你为我介绍一下。
好嘞，这个的话就是塔吉克族有一个独有的古老的一个体育项目，叫牦牛叼养。我们是牦牛叼养。
就是在牦牛的背上。
对，它主要是体现了男人的胆量哦。
所以赢的那一方就会得到女生的欢心，这样。
应该会吧？
应该会吧。
赢得爱情。这个话就是结婚这一天，像我们的话，新娘她是要穿一身的红色衣服，然后新郎的话，他戴这个传统的帽子，土马克帽，
很有仪式感的。行，那我们再往里头看看。哇，有一个天窗。
对，塔吉克传统房子它就有一个天窗。以前这个我们的先民他比较有智慧吧，大概就是确定太阳照在炕上的位置，确定时间，然后再就是做一些生活方面的一些准备，就是我们该做饭了啊。
这个帽子，其实我在这边的大街上经常见到。
其实我头顶上的这顶帽子也是一样的，对。这顶帽子的话是塔吉克族妇女的一个象征。像这个帽子我们叫霞衣大衣帽，它是圆顶硬壳帽，它是周边和顶部都是刺绣出来的。还有另一种说法，最早的时候，这个是未婚姑娘会戴这种。
所以你戴的是未婚妇女的帽子。
对。然后我们的刺绣品的灵感，它是来源于大自然。这是鹰爪。哦。然后这个彩色这种，它是代表的是水。
都是有寓意的。
这个姑娘出嫁的时候，我们的陪嫁物品当中就有帽子，还有各种刺绣，所以说我们就会有一句话：不会刺绣的姑娘，她是嫁不出去的。
所以你会刺这种帽子吗？
那肯定呀，我肯定得嫁得出去。
After that fun conversation, we went out to the rural area of Kashgar.
Agriculture and livestock farming remain important pillars of livelihood for people here in this part of the world.
Life is slow here for this family of 4.
These are a local breed called the Fat Tail.
Why the name? Well, I'll let the graphics speak for itself. They are well adapted to the harsh environment here and provide quality meat and grease. This is Tashik. You might wonder how I made out what he said. I didn't. Tashik's son, who goes to school in the county and knows Mandarin, acted as my little translator/tour guide.
这里是做馕的。
对。
The family makes about $8,000 a year. About 75% comes from livestock sales, and the rest from government subsidies. Tashik's wife, Bikak, invited me into their tent for a cup of tea.
خوش اومدی.
Rahmat. People here are very hospitable. We've got milk tea, we've got naan, we've got yogurt, all the local delicacies. But the family told me that they will be moving to another base further downhill in September for the winter. Cold weather is coming.
Tashik came back from grazing his sheep and sat by his daughter. I couldn't understand a word they said, but it sounded beautiful. After spending some time in Kashgar, I was ready to cross into Pakistan. Through the highest point of the Karakoram Highway, the Uygur Pass, at over 4,700 meters above sea level. To get there, we needed to take a cross-country bus in Kashgar. These Pakistani businessmen are also buying bus tickets. And when they return to Pakistan, they always bring back loads of stuff they bought in China. Which means luggage space is a valuable resource on this only twice-a-day cross-border bus.
This is taking forever. What do you do here?
Trading.
Stones?
Yeah. Stones. China government is very corporate. Is making roads, KKH roads.
Yeah?
Big way,
Soon, we reached the Uygur Pass.
This is Pakistan and China border.
So we're crossing into your country.
Yeah.
Our journey beyond China has only just begun. Let's cross that border.
We are at such a high altitude that this legendary ATM machine is arguably the highest one in the world. As we ventured deeper into Pakistan, our conversations got more serious.
There was a big flood in Pakistan last year.
Big flood, yeah.
Yeah. How has that affected you and your family?
Oh, too much.
Too much? How?
Load shedding, every year, every month, every day.
Pakistan has a chronic electricity deficit. The causes are manifold, but a major flood along the Indus River and its tributaries in 2022 that affected about a third of the country had exacerbated the already serious power problem. Many cooperation projects from China in Pakistan are power plants, which provide nearly a quarter of the electricity supplied to Pakistan at the peak. But still, there's much room for improvement. The destructive force of nature is a constant presence at the Pakistani section of the Karakoram Highway. These tunnels are constructed to resist random falling rocks from higher up, says the highway's builder.
就是不能避的，我们就修一些隧道、一些明洞。如果能避开的，另外的话我就避开，就可能就是说把这个线就改到这边，就远离这些有那个崩塌的这些地方。
Pakistan immigration.
Sust. We reach Sust. China, ni hao. Thank you. From Pakistan, Adnan.
Experts say building and maintaining the Karakoram Highway in this region is especially challenging.
North Pakistan is where three of the world's greatest mountain ranges meet: the Karakoram, the Hindu Kush, and the Himalayas. These mountains present great grandeur, but they also signal a somewhat ominous fact. This is a geologically active area.
For example, as we continue deeper into Pakistan, we reach the Islamabad Lake. It looks absolutely beautiful, but it wasn't here before 2010. We talked to Yusuf, a local.
1月4号爬下来的，下面那个村子的有19个人去世了。我们那个湖那个水都是堵了，堵了以后，那个我们的喀拉昆仑路都是淹了。塌了以后，这个堰塞湖26公里长，深度的话也大概100多米那个样子深。路没有了以后，那我们的人找了这种那个船，木船里面来回。
At first, the Chinese construction company commissioned for the highway waited for the water to subside, but that didn't happen. So they went back to the drawing board and redesigned the route. But that meant painstakingly drilling through mountain bodies along the lake.
后面是我们那个中国路桥，修了上边修了那个路，修了隧道。
Yusuf said the locals had managed to make the most of an otherwise tragic situation.
以前在这啥都没有了，现在有你们看这个修了那个这么多那个新开的酒店，那在这旅游的人多了以后，当地的人有机会赚钱的。下面就这么多船可以入出去。
Some of you might have noticed, Yusuf speaks fluent Chinese. He's now a translator for the China Road and Bridge Corporation.
借着公路的升级改造，让喀拉昆仑公路重获新生，使古老的丝绸之路焕发生机，让原来14小时的这个车程缩短了7小时，运输能力也提高了3倍。
So we've arrived in Islamabad, the capital of Pakistan, at the end of the Karakoram Highway.
With what I learned along the way in mind, I talked to the local team of CBRC.
喀拉昆仑公路，大家又称为它中巴友谊公路，它是中巴友谊的象征。
Pakistan, here we go.
Since 2015, CBRC had started building a 118-kilometer second phase of the Karakoram Highway in Pakistan.
在2020年7年，使项目全线建成通车。
Engineer Xiao Xiongjie discussed his previous experiences working near the Kunjurat Pass.
喀拉昆仑公路是挂在崇山重岭中的一根丝绸。
我前几天也在红喜拉普那边待过一会儿，我发现8月份也是飘着大雪啊。
对，看着好天气，它直接就飘雪了。现在记忆特别深刻的就是我们那个营地，应该是有一个1吨重左右的石头吧，直接从这个山可能有300-400米的这个山上直接滚下来，砸到我们那个活动板块上，它直接是切一下，就是说是我们切豆腐一样，那个超好没住人。当时我都不知道我怎么坚持下来的。
Before leaving Pakistan, there was a final thing I wanted to see.
It's easy to recognize a Pakistani truck on the road. Flamboyant is sort of an understatement.
This truck art culture, popular throughout South Asia, makes driving along the Pakistani section of the Karakoram Highway a unique experience. With that interest satisfied, I flew to another country to continue my journey. Subscribe for the next part of my adventure to...
Well, it's got a new English name. Turkey.
I am standing on the Bosphorus River in Istanbul, Turkey. I know everybody who visits Istanbul will say this at some point during their stay, but I am right between Europe and Asia. This is epic.